Today we are making a video on Xubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster version. This is a stable version and it's a flavor of Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. Here is the boot menu of Xubuntu 23.04. In order to boot in a live boot, you need to try or install Xubuntu. You need to click on enter, it's going to boot up, and these are all the other options of Xubuntu. So let me boot it in a live boot. It's going to take a maximum of a minute or minimum of 30 to 40 seconds to show up the desktop layout. So again, this is a stable version. If you want to use a stable version, it's always a good option, or it's always good to open it in a live boot. That's my opinion, or that's a tip from me, because booting in a live boot will give you like a bugs free, or you will be getting an information that you have a bugs in the live boot or not. So you should be having an information that the Linux distro is good or not. If you directly install it directly without using anything, like it's going to be having some bugs accidentally. We don't know. If it's a stable version, that doesn't mean there should be any bugs. There should be some bugs in some occasions, so it's always better to boot it in live boot first. After you're satisfied, then go with the installation process. Don't just use for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, always use it for hours. It's always a better option to go live boot and use it for 7 to 8 hours, or maybe one day it will be a good option. And don't save anything in a live boot, because live boot going to erase everything after you restart. So just use it like a basic Linux distro. Don't save anything, just use it for a few hours, and then if you're satisfied, go with the installation process. Try to ignore the background noise, because kids are screaming around my neighborhood, and also construction is going. So it will take some time to load up. So here is our Xubuntu completely loaded. We just need to get our desktop layout loaded. Here is a mouse cursor. We should take a few more seconds. It almost took like 15 to 20 seconds already. Just a few more seconds and we should be having our desktop layout, or the desktop loaded completely. Here is a mouse pointer and we have our welcome screen. And I forgot to mention that I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 80 GB of hard disk with 2 processors and 4 GB of RAM. So it always gives the two options, like try Xubuntu and install Ubuntu. If you ask me, in my opinion, it's always better option to go with the live boot first. After you're satisfied without any bugs or encounter any bugs here, you go with the installation. These are the two options. So first you need to choose your language for the boot. So I'm going to choose English as the live boot option, and English as the language. Let me boot it in a live boot first. For example, I'm choosing English. You can choose any language. There are plenty of languages available right here. So I choose English for the live boot. You can choose anything on your own. It's going to take like 20 seconds more to load up the complete desktop layout, and we should be having our Xubuntu 23.04 completely loaded. Try to ignore the background noise, because we can't say anything to kids. They're screaming like crazy. No problem. So let me change the display resolution first. I'm running it on a VMware, so it's pretty odd right now. Let me change the display settings by going to settings and displays. My monitor is 1920 into 1080, so let me click on it, click on apply, and keep this configuration. If you can't see the text or font size, because if you have a big monitor, it's going to be font size will be very small. So in order to fix this, you need to go to the, like this is the 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. Remember this thing. And let's go to the settings and go to the appearance, and under appearance go to settings and change the window scaling to 2x, and you should be having a bold text or a bold font size, so you can see properly now. So that's the tip or the option I will give you to use it for big text size and a big font size. So these are the things. So let's first open the system monitor, because we need to see how much resources are consuming before and after the video. So before the resources, you need to remember how much resources will be consuming, because I'm going to open the task manager again at the end of the video. So you will be having an idea of exact RAM consumption and the CPU consumption. So you should be having an information, and you can judge there by the RAM and CPU to use this Linux distro or not. So it's a Xfce desktop environment. The Xfce desktop environment version will be like 4.18, and the latest Xfce desktop environment version is 4.18.4. So the RAM consumption is almost 1.1 GB of 4 GB RAM, and CPU is almost like as you can see here is a CPU which is almost 10% to 20% right now. So again, try to ignore the background noise. People are going crazy and kids also going crazy around my neighborhood. So right now CPU is almost 25%, under 25%. This is good, and RAM is also good. So it's up to you to use or judge this Linux distro on your own. So these are all the processes running right now, as you can see here. So if you want to remember this thing, or you can write it down, or even you can put the video side by side and see the resources, you should be getting the exact numbers of CPU and RAM. So right now it's 1.1 GB. So let's check the version of the task manager, which is 1.5.5. So let's open the terminal command to get the distro information, because we just have the some of the information like distro information like Xubuntu 23.04. That's the information we just have. So we need to get all the distro information by typing the command, which is inxi-sv8, which will grab every distro info. This is the command you need to type in the terminal. We should grab every distro information. So let me change the color so you can see properly by going to colors, and let me load the presets like a black and white. So these are the information from the distro. Under system, it says host Xubuntu, and kernel is 6.2.0, and the latest version of a kernel is 6.3, which was released yesterday. So it's a 64-bit architecture, and a compiler is not available right now. And the desktop environment for the Xubuntu is a Xfce, and the version is a 4.18.1, and GTK version is a 3.24.36, and the WMXFWM version is a 4.18.0, VT version is 7, and LightDM version is 1.30.0, and distro is Ubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. Because it's a flavor of Ubuntu, so it's going to say Ubuntu as the distro information. Xubuntu is a flavor of Ubuntu. So under machine it says a VMware. I already mentioned that I'm using as a virtualization, which is a VMware. So the BIOS Phoenix version is a 6.00, and under memory the RAM consumption is almost a 1.11 GB of a 4 GB of RAM. So here is my CPU information. If you want to know the CPU information, here is the CPU information. Let's scroll it down and let's find another information. Under graphics, there are some of the information here. If you want, you can go through all these things. Under display, it says X11, server is Xorg version 1.21.1.7, and compositor XFWM version is 4.18.0. And under monitors, these are the available display resolutions to change. So here you can change the display resolutions. API OpenGL version is a 4.1, Mesa is 23.0.2. So Pulse Audio version is 16.1, and Pipewire version is 0.3.65 or 65. You can call it anything you want. So here is the 80 GB of hard disk. This is the space I choose for the VMware. I choose the 80 GB of hard disk for the VMware. So let's scroll it down completely, and we should be having other information like INXI version is a 3.3.25, and processors running right now are 258, and uptime is a 6 minute. Wake ups are 21. Init systemd version 252. Shell bash version is a 5.2.15. And let's type in other commands like inxi. For example, this will grab or give the same information as the above one, but just in a short form. And inxi -small b, again the same information just in a short form. inxi G, this will also give the same information from the above, as same as the above. Let's type in another command, which is a cat etc / issue. I think I choose the caps lock let me change that. Cat /etc/issue. I typed it wrong, so let me type in correct. This is the command you need to type in. Ubuntu 23.04, as you can see here. Let's type in neofetch because some people want to see neofetch also. Neofetch is not installed or not pre-installed. Let me quickly install that by copying the command, which is a sudo apt install neofetch. Paste the command here and click on enter. You need to type in Y for yes to install. It's going to take a few seconds and we should be having our neofetch should be installed in a few seconds. It should be installed in a few seconds. After the neofetch, we should install htop. So I will show you the htop also. So you should be having complete distro info here. So let me type in neofetch and click on enter. Here is the neofetch. You can go through all this by your own by pausing the video. So let's type in htop. Htop is also not installed. You need to copy this URL or the what you call it, command, not the URL, sorry for that. Copy the command, which is sudo apt install htop, paste it and click on enter. And htop should be installed in a maximum of 12 seconds. That's the time it consumes. So htop. So here is the htop. RAM consumption is almost 604 MB, and here are the CPUs, here are the tasks. So we got every distro information from here in the terminal command. So let's close this thing and let me show you how to go to their website and download the Xubuntu 23.04 by opening the internet browser, which is a Firefox. And the Firefox is the default web browser in every Linux distro. So you should be finding Firefox in every Linux distro, almost all Ubuntu flavors and every Linux distro. So let's quickly check the version of the Firefox first and let's go to the download process. The version is a 111.0.1 with a 64-bit. So let's type in the search term, which is Xubuntu 23.04. Here is the search term and it says it is released in their official website. This is the official website and this is a daily build and this is a beta version. And if you click on beta version should be beta version ISO file should be deleted and the stable version should be available, because after the stable version is released, the beta version should be automatically deleted from their website. They will delete like that. That's the process happens. So these are the release notes or these are the informations which is changed in Ubuntu 23.04. The Xfce, we get a Xfce latest version, and we also have a minimal ISO file. I already made a video on it. If you want, you can check that out. I already made a video on that on yesterday, I guess. You can check that out in the previous videos of my channel. So minimum ISO file is around like a 1.7 GB and the full ISO file size is almost 3.5 GB. That's the difference. And here is the difference of what minimal will be available. So these are the information. If you want to go through all this information, you can go through this. So let me show you the download thing. So you need to go to the final release. Images are available as a torrent or the ISO files. It's available as a torrent here. So if you don't want to download from the torrent, you can just go to this beta version. I'll show you how to download that. So here it says beta version. As you can see, there is no ISO file here. Just go to the parent directory and you can find the releases here, the release folder, and you should find the ISO file here, which is 3.0 GB as a full ISO file and 1.7 GB as the minimal ISO file. I already made a video on minimal version. So this is the full complete version. This is the ISO file I downloaded and making a video on it. So this is a 3 GB of file size and I'm making a video on it. So let's click on the full ISO file. Here is the 3 GB. I'm using a VPN, so it's slow for me. So if you want to download minimal, you can download the minimal also. In the minimal version, if you want to check that out, you can check that out a video I already made in the previous day. I made yesterday. So there will be nothing in the minimal ISO file, so you can check that out on your own, and you can judge to use the full ISO file or the minimal. So let me close this thing. I showed the how to download the process. That's the download process to download the Xubuntu 23.04 Lunar Lobster. So let's go to the installation process by executing the application or the installer here. Launch anyway. It's going to take a few seconds to load up because we have a old installer still for the Ubuntu flavors, but Ubuntu has a new installer, but Ubuntu flavors doesn't have a new installer. That's pretty weird and bad idea to still use the old version. So here is the new old installer. I'm sorry. And first you need to choose the English or any other languages on your own. Choose your own language. I'm choosing English. Again, this is the same installation process in every Ubuntu or in every Linux distro. There is nothing changed here or nothing complicated here. Click on continue. It's going to take few seconds, and you should be having a keyboard layout. For example, I'm choosing English as both sides because I want to. You can choose any other languages. There are plenty of languages here, or plenty of keyboards available. Click on continue. You can test your keyboard or detect your keyboard layout here. Click on continue, and here are the updates and other softwares. You get normal installation and minimal installation. In normal installation, you get every app, web browser, office software, games, all these things. So this is the best option. In the minimal installation, you just get a web browser, mouse pad, which is text editor, and a calculator like that. Just a basic apps like 4 to 5 apps. That's it. So that's the difference between normal and minimal installation. And under other options, you get two options like you need to check in or check these buttons. For example, you get a download updates while installing. You get the latest updates while installing. It saves some time, so it's always a better option to check this thing. It's my opinion. It's clearly up to you. If you want to do that later, you can do that later. And install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware and additional media formats. This is also available, and this is also helpful. So it's better to check this button. That's my opinion. If you want to do that later, you can do that later. You can easily customize it later. So if you ask me, it's always a better option to check this thing and click on continue. It's going to say preparing Ubuntu drivers. It's going to take like a 30 seconds maximum, and we should be having our partition setups. So instead of waiting for this, let's check out the desktop features, which is date and time, volume, power consumption or power resources, and notification and internet connection. These are the available features here on desktop. About panel is a 4.18.2, and we are back. Let's go back to the installation process. Installation type, you should be very careful of choosing these options because it's going to delete everything and boot it in a single boot and install the current or the using Linux distro, which is a Xubuntu 23.04. So be careful while doing this button because it's going to erase this thing. If you choose something else, it's going to give you the partition resize. You can dual boot here, you can single boot here. So be careful while doing these things. We have advanced features. So these are the advanced features. You can go to all the settings on your own, customize anything on your own. So it's going to erase disk and install Xubuntu as a single boot. So be careful while choosing this option. After clicking on install now, it's going to take 5 to 10 minutes minimum or maximum like 20 minutes. It depends on your PC, depends on the Linux distro. So after installing, it's going to say finish and reboot, and you should be having installed on your VMware or a complete hard disk directly. If you choose the VMware, no need to worry because it's going to erase nothing in a VMware. If you choose the hard disk or if you're installing on your main PC or work PC, so be careful while doing this option. So that's the installation process. Let me close this thing. And let's check out the desktop features, which are desktop wallpapers and some settings. So under the wallpapers, you don't get much of the wallpapers. You don't even get the Lunar Lobster wallpaper. I think this is the Lunar Lobster wallpaper, which is incomplete, I guess, in my perspective. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm tired. So I don't think this is a new wallpaper. It looks like a new wallpaper, but I don't know. So these are all the available wallpapers as you can see here. This is a menu, icons. What else we still left here is let's go to the system manager and see what are the new things. Nothing new things, just same options like default applications, some of the default applications. Let's go back to all settings, and the keyboard layout or the keyboards. Let's go back to all settings again, and mouse and touchpad. Let's go back to all settings, power manager. These are some of the things to customize. If you want to customize, you can change it. So we covered everything, I guess. Let's close this thing, and let's check out what are the apps which comes pre-installed here. So these are, let me put to the all applications and check out all the features or all the applications about Xfce. Here is the complete information. We already got the complete information in the terminal command in the beginning, so we don't need to worry about any other things. So these are all the apps which comes pre-installed. As you can see, I am scrolling it very slowly so you can see properly. So let's go directly to the accessories. We have this many apps. Under games, we have 3 games. Graphics, good apps. Internet, we have good apps here. Multimedia, just a few apps. We don't get a VLC media player. And LibreOffice, that's also one of the best apps. Under settings, these are the settings to customize. Under system, these are some of the main apps. So let me open the file manager first and check the version. The version should be 4.18, 18.4. This is the latest version. So let me open the just important apps like for example LibreOffice and GIMP. Let's open just like 2 to 3 apps and end the video. So I'm going to open the apps and show you the task manager and end the video. This is the version you get, 7.5.2.2, which should be same in every LibreOffice. What else we left here are the graphics and GIMP. GIMP should be version like a 2.10.34 because that's the version which is seen in every Ubuntu flavor, because I already made every flavor of Ubuntu 23.04 stable version. As you can see, this is the version you see in every Ubuntu flavor. So what else we left here are we saw the accessories, games, we saw GIMP also, internet, Thunderbird mail. And after Thunderbird mail, let me open the task manager and end the video. Thunderbird should take a few seconds because that's a heavy app, 102.10.0. So let me open the task manager so you can judge the Linux distro on your own. So how much resources are consumed. Before it was 1.1 GB, now it's 1.3 GB. That's still the best Linux or the Ubuntu flavor, because Lubuntu and Xubuntu are the best lightweight Linux distros in my opinion. It should be different for you, but in my opinion these are the both best Ubuntu flavors. If you want to try it, it consumes less resources. So that's my opinion. It's clearly up to you. So let me open like a Synaptic package manager and a software manager and end the video. So I opened the software manager. We should be having our software manager in any second. Let's check the version, which is a 44.0. I think we have an update of Firefox 11.1.0.1, and on the installed apps it's going to take some time. Instead of waiting for that, let's open Synaptic package manager. Here is our Synaptic package manager. Let's check the version. The version should be 0.91, I guess, 0.91.3, because it was same in every Ubuntu flavors. I'll be posting 2 videos daily, so I already made a video of other content. If you want to check that out, you can check that out after watching this video. I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing any day. So watch that video after watching this completely. I'm just going to scroll it down very fast because it's a lot of packages. So the installed version will be highlighted with a green and the installed version will be here. You need to change the speed in the YouTube settings by going on playback settings and change this settings to 1.0 to 0.25. You should be seeing the installed version. For example, like this, I'm going to show you. For example, the installed version will be like this, the green one, like this, highlighted with green. Installed version will be here. So let me quickly scroll it up side. So these are all the pre-installed packages. Let me close this thing. These are all the installed apps. Let's check the version of Xchat. This could take a few seconds, and version is 2.16.1, and Restrito image viewer version is 0.12.4. Parallel media player version 4.18.0. I think we covered everything, so let's end the video. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. So I already made another video because I'll posting 2 videos daily. Watch this video completely and go to the other video. Again, thanks for watching. Peace out.